Early life and beginnings. Pedro Miguel Barbosa, commonly known as Pedro Barbosa, was born on April 12, 1974, in Lisbon, Portugal. Growing up in a football-loving family, Barbosa was introduced to the sport at a young age. His natural talent quickly became apparent, and by his teenage years, he was already playing at the youth level for some of Portugal's top clubs. His early years in football were spent developing his technical skills, ball control, and vision of the game, which would become his hallmark as a professional. Barbosa's breakthrough came when he joined Sporting CP's youth academy, Academia Sporting, in the early 1990s. His time at Sporting's academy allowed him to hone his skills, and it was there that his potential as a gifted attacking midfielder truly began to emerge. Barbosa's technical finesse, precise passing, and ability to read the game set him apart from his peers. Professional career, rise to prominence. Pedro Barbosa made his professional debut for Sporting CP in 1993. At first, he struggled to break into the first team, as the club was already home to a host of talented players. However, in 1995, after a season on loan at FC Salgueiros, Barbosa was integrated into Sporting's first team. His natural ability and tactical understanding soon made him a mainstay in the starting lineup. During his time at Sporting, Barbosa quickly became one of the most recognizable names in Portuguese football. Known for his ability to dictate the tempo of the game, his precise passes, and his vision, he earned a reputation as a top-tier playmaker. He was an integral part of the team during the late 1990s and early 2000s, becoming one of the key figures in the club's midfield. Barbosa's performances earned him a call-up to the Portugal national team, and in 1998, he made his international debut. His international career, however, was somewhat limited due to competition for places, with other top-tier midfielders such as Rui Costa, João Pinto, and Luis Figo also vying for positions. Nevertheless, Barbosa's contributions to the national team were significant, and he represented Portugal in various tournaments, including the UEFA European Championship in 2000. Career peak, Sporting CP and international recognition. The peak of Barbosa's career came during his time with Sporting CP. His technical prowess made him one of the best playmakers in Portuguese football during the late 1990s and early 2000s. Barbosa was pivotal in Sporting's success during the 2000-2001 season when the club won the Taça de Portugal, Portuguese Cup, defeating FC Alverca 3-1 in the final. His leadership and creativity on the ball were crucial in Sporting's pursuit of titles during this period. Additionally, in 2000, Barbosa was a key figure in Sporting's strong campaign in the UEFA Cup, where they reached the semi-finals. His individual performances were often cited as one of the key reasons Sporting could compete on the European stage. Barbosa's ability to read the game, deliver accurate crosses, and dictate play from the midfield was admired by fans and pundits alike. At the international level, Barbosa was part of Portugal's squad for the 2000 UEFA European Championship, a tournament where the national team came incredibly close to winning but ultimately finished in third place after losing to France in the semi-finals. Barbosa played a key role throughout the competition, helping to orchestrate Portugal's attack with his vision and passing range. Main achievements. Throughout his career, Barbosa accumulated several important trophies, both at the club and international levels. Sporting CP, Barbosa helped Sporting to win the Taça de Portugal, 2001, the Supertaça Cândido de Oliveira, 2002, and the Taça da Liga, 2008. His time at Sporting was instrumental in the team's consistency in competing at the top levels of Portuguese football. International career. While Barbosa was unable to claim a major international title with Portugal, he contributed to the team's successes at the UEFA Euro 2000 and the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Though he did not achieve the same level of success as some of his contemporaries, his role in the national team was crucial during his international tenure. Individual recognition. Barbosa was widely regarded as one of the most talented and skillful midfielders in Portuguese football during his peak. His precise passing, technical ability, and leadership on the pitch earned him numerous accolades from fans, pundits, and fellow players. Later years, transition and retirement. In his later years, Barbosa continued to play for Sporting CP, but as his career advanced, he began to experience more injuries and a decline in his physical condition. Despite this, he remained an important presence in the midfield, even as he transitioned to a more experienced, leadership role. He played his last season with Sporting in 2008, before eventually announcing his retirement from professional football. After retiring from playing, Barbosa took on various roles in football management, though he did not return to a coaching career immediately. His post-playing career has been relatively low-key, though he remains highly respected within Sporting CP, both as a player and as an influential figure in the club's history. Legacy. Pedro Barbosa is remembered as one of the most technically gifted Portuguese footballers of his generation. His ability to control a game, create scoring opportunities, and provide key passes made him an invaluable asset to both his club and country. While his career did not see him win a major international title with Portugal, his performances for Sporting CP solidified his legacy as one of the club's great midfielders. Barbosa's creative style of play, vision, and footballing intelligence were his trademarks. Though his international career was shorter than some of his contemporaries, he is fondly remembered by Sporting fans for his leadership and artistry in the midfield. Despite not achieving the same level of global recognition as players like Luís Figo or Rui Costa, Pedro Barbosa remains a key figure in the history of Portuguese football. In his retirement, Barbosa's influence continues to resonate within the world of football, particularly in Portugal, where he is celebrated as a player who was both technically brilliant and unselfish in his approach to the game. Early life and beginnings. Nelson Pereira, born on August 12, 1981, in Lisbon, Portugal, was introduced to football at a young age, a sport that runs deep in Portuguese culture. His early life in Lisbon saw him playing in local youth clubs, where his skills quickly caught the attention of scouts. A talented and versatile player, Nelson displayed a natural ability to play in multiple positions, though he was primarily known for his defensive prowess and leadership. He joined Sporting CP's prestigious youth academy, Academia Sporting, which has produced many of Portugal's top talents. It was here that he began to develop his skills as a central defender, though he also had the versatility to play as a fullback. His technical ability, combined with his tactical awareness, made him a standout player at the youth level. Professional career, breakthrough and early years. Nelson Pereira made his professional debut with Sporting CP in 2000. He initially struggled to find regular minutes in the first team, as the club was filled with strong defenders competing for positions. However, in the following years, his persistence paid off. Nelson was gradually incorporated into the team, impressing with his solid defensive skills and maturity on the pitch. He earned a reputation for being composed under pressure, possessing both strength and excellent positioning. His early years at Sporting CP saw him gain experience in both domestic and European competitions, although it was clear that he had yet to hit his peak. His development as a dependable defender made him a key asset to the squad, but the competition for a place in the starting 11 was fierce. However, he continued to mature and eventually became a consistent fixture in Sporting's defense. Career peak, a leading defender. The peak of Nelson Pereira's career came during his time with Sporting CP, where he was seen as one of the standout players in the squad. His leadership on the field, coupled with his defensive qualities, made him one of the team's most reliable players. Nelson was a commanding presence in defense, and his excellent positioning allowed him to thwart opposing attacks with ease. His aerial ability and tackling made him a strong performer both in the air and on the ground. In the early 2000s, Sporting CP experienced a period of relative success domestically, winning several titles, and Nelson played a major role in these accomplishments. His defensive partnership with other top-tier players helped establish Sporting as one of the leading teams in Portugal. He was also involved in the club's push in European competitions, making appearances in the UEFA Cup and Champions League. Despite not reaching the level of international stardom of some of his contemporaries, Nelson's performances at Sporting CP earned him a reputation as a consistent and hard-working player. He was never the flashiest player, but his dependability and understanding of the game made him indispensable. Main achievements. Throughout his career, Nelson Pereira enjoyed several significant achievements. Primarily with Sporting CP, where he spent the majority of his playing years. Some of his main accomplishments include Primeira Liga titles. Nelson was a key player in Sporting CP's successful campaigns in the Primeira Liga, contributing to their domestic successes. Taça de Portugal. He helped Sporting CP lift the Taça de Portugal, further cementing his legacy at the club. Taça de Liga. Nelson was part of the squad that won the Taça de Liga, a domestic cup competition, showcasing his ability to contribute in multiple facets of the game. While Nelson's career didn't boast as many international titles, he was highly regarded for his consistent performances in the Portuguese top division and in European competitions, where Sporting frequently competed at a high level. International career and influence. Nelson Pereira's international career with Portugal was more limited compared to his club achievements. He was called up to the Portugal national team on several occasions, particularly during the mid-2000s. However, his opportunities to play for the national team were often limited by the competition for places in the central defense, with players like Ricardo Carvalho and Pepe being regular starters. Despite these challenges, Nelson was part of the Portugal squad that participated in international competitions, including the UEFA European Championship and FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Although he didn't feature regularly in major international tournaments, his inclusion in the national setup was a testament to his skill and reliability as a central defender. Later years, transition and retirement. As he entered the final stages of his playing career, Nelson Pereira's role at Sporting CP started to shift. Although his performances remained solid, injuries and age began to take a toll. In his later years, Nelson moved between various clubs within Portugal's top league and had stints abroad. His experience in top-level football, combined with his leadership qualities, made him an asset to every team he joined. Eventually, Nelson retired from professional football, marking the end of a career that spanned over a decade. His transition from a player to a more off-field role was relatively seamless, as he remained involved with the sport in various capacities, though he never pursued a managerial or coaching career at the top level. Legacy. Nelson Pereira is remembered as one of Portugal's solid defenders during his time at Sporting CP, where he formed the backbone of the team's defense. Though he did not reach the global fame of some of his contemporaries, his work ethic, leadership, and dedication to the game made him a respected figure in Portuguese football. He is particularly remembered by Sporting fans for his loyalty and crucial contributions during his time with the club. His legacy lies in the way he represented the core values of Portuguese football: discipline, tactical intelligence, and team-oriented play. Though not as flamboyant or headline-grabbing as some of his peers, Nelson's consistent and reliable performances made him one of the quietly effective players in the modern era of Portuguese football. In retirement, Nelson's influence continues to be felt in Sporting's youth academy and among the fans who remember him as one of the club's stalwarts during a period of significant success. Early life and beginnings. Ricardo Andrade Quaresma Bernardo, better known simply as Ricardo, was born on February 6, 1978, in Amadora, Portugal. From a young age, Ricardo exhibited an undeniable passion for football, particularly for goalkeeping. His early years were spent at local clubs, honing his skills before catching the eye of larger teams. His talent was quickly recognized, and he joined the youth academy of Sporting CP, one of Portugal's most renowned clubs. During his time in Sporting's youth ranks, Ricardo developed a reputation for his quick reflexes, composure under pressure, and natural leadership. Despite the stiff competition within the academy, he managed to break through to the first team, making his professional debut in 1998 at the age of 20. Professional career, breakthrough, and early years. Ricardo's breakthrough came early in his professional career. His performances for Sporting CP quickly established him as one of Portugal's most promising young goalkeepers. Although his first season was a learning experience, his consistency and confidence began to shine through, earning him more game time and the trust of his coaches. In 2000, Ricardo's talents were recognized beyond the borders of Portugal, and he made his debut with the Portugal national team. His national team debut came in a friendly match against Algeria, and he would go on to become a regular call-up for Portugal. His early years at Sporting saw the club contend for domestic honors, although they were often overshadowed by the dominance of rivals FC Porto and Benfica. Ricardo's standout performances in Portugal's top-tier league and European competitions, such as the UEFA Cup, further helped solidify his reputation as one of the best goalkeepers in the country. Career peak, a leading presence. Ricardo's career reached its peak in the mid-2000s, a period where he not only became an elite goalkeeper at the club level but also a key player for the Portugal national team. In 2004, Ricardo's reputation grew significantly after his impressive performances at the UEFA European Championship held in Portugal. His shot-stopping abilities and composure in key moments caught the attention of the international football community. The tournament solidified his place as the #1 goalkeeper for Portugal, and he continued to shine in the following years, particularly at the FIFA World Cup 2006. During the 2006 World Cup, Ricardo was a hero for Portugal during their run to the semi-finals, which included a thrilling penalty shootout victory against England in the quarter-finals. Ricardo's key penalty save against Darius Vassell was a defining moment of the tournament, showcasing his nerves of steel. His performances at the tournament earned him widespread praise and firmly established him as one of Europe's top goalkeepers. In addition to his national team success, Ricardo also enjoyed a stellar club career. After a successful stint with Sporting CP, he moved to Real Betis in Spain in 2003, where he further honed his craft. His time in La Liga was marked by strong performances, and he was recognized as one of the top goalkeepers in the league. His solid performances at Betis led to his eventual transfer to FC Porto in 2006, where he played for several seasons. At FC Porto, Ricardo was part of a dominant era in the Primeira Liga, winning multiple league titles and domestic cups. Porto's strong defensive record was in part thanks to Ricardo's leadership in goal, as well as his ability to organize the defense and make crucial saves in important matches. Main achievements. Throughout his career, Ricardo accumulated a number of personal and team achievements, both at the domestic and international levels. UEFA European Championship 2004, Portugal. Ricardo played a key role in Portugal's run to the final of Euro 2004, where they ultimately finished as runners-up. His performances in goal were pivotal, and his leadership earned him recognition as one of the standout players of the tournament. FIFA World Cup 2006, Germany. Ricardo was instrumental in Portugal's journey to the semi-finals of the 2006 World Cup, with his standout performance in the quarter-finals against England earning him widespread acclaim. His crucial penalty save in the shootout was one of the defining moments of the tournament. Primeira Liga titles. Ricardo won multiple Primeira Liga titles with FC Porto, contributing to the club's domestic dominance. Taça de Portugal. He also won Taça de Portugal during his time at FC Porto, cementing his status as one of the country's top goalkeepers. UEFA Champions League participation. Ricardo was a regular participant in European competitions with both Sporting CP and FC Porto, competing in the UEFA Champions League. International appearances. Ricardo earned over 80 caps for the Portugal national team over the course of his career. He played in major international tournaments, including multiple UEFA European Championships and FIFA World Cups, and was consistently one of Portugal's most reliable players. Later years, retirement and transition. Ricardo's career, while full of triumphs, was also marked by some challenges. As he entered his 30s, his performances started to become inconsistent, and injuries began to take a toll. In the late stages of his career, Ricardo returned to Portugal, playing for Braga and later Olhanense in the Primeira Liga. Despite his experience and leadership, Ricardo's influence on the field began to wane as he faced competition from younger goalkeepers. In 2011, Ricardo announced his retirement from professional football, closing the chapter on a highly successful career. He left behind a legacy as one of Portugal's best-ever goalkeepers, known for his resilience, composure, and leadership. His penalty-saving heroics at the 2006 World Cup will forever be remembered as a defining moment in Portuguese football history. Post-retirement, Ricardo transitioned to a role in football management and coaching, continuing to share his expertise and passion for the game. He has also been involved in various charitable activities and events within the football community. Legacy. Ricardo's legacy in football is secure, especially in the hearts of Portugal's football fans. He was a key figure in the national team's most successful period in the early 2000s, helping Portugal to consistently reach the later stages of major tournaments, including the European Championship and the World Cup. His calm demeanor, shot-stopping abilities, and leadership qualities made him one of the best goalkeepers of his generation. At the club level, Ricardo's time with Sporting CP, Real Betis, and FC Porto left a lasting impact. He was known for his ability to read the game, his excellent reflexes, and his ability to lead his defense. His performances at FC Porto helped the club achieve domestic success and remain competitive in Europe. Today, Ricardo remains a respected figure in Portuguese football, having achieved legendary status for his performances on the international stage and his longevity as one of the country's top goalkeepers. His career is a testament to hard work, perseverance, and a passion for the game. Early life and beginnings. Paulo Sousa was born on August 30, 1970, in Vila Real, Portugal. Raised in a football-loving family, Sousa's passion for the sport emerged at an early age. His football journey began in the youth ranks of Vitória de Guimarães, one of Portugal's traditional clubs. A gifted midfielder with an excellent vision of the game, Sousa made a seamless transition to the first team. His playing style, characterized by an impressive ability to dictate the tempo of matches, quickly caught the attention of scouts from top clubs. At just 19 years old, Sousa made his professional debut for Vitória de Guimarães in the 1989-90 season. His time at the club allowed him to develop his technical abilities, and within a few seasons, he was recognized as one of Portugal's most promising young midfielders. Career peak, rise to prominence. Sousa's standout performances at Vitória de Guimarães earned him a transfer to Sporting CP in 1994, one of Portugal's largest clubs. It was at Sporting that Sousa truly started to establish his reputation as a world-class midfielder. His technical ability, work rate, and leadership in the middle of the park helped Sporting win several domestic trophies, including the 1995-96 Portuguese Cup. His vision and ability to control games with his passing became his trademarks, and he quickly became a fan favorite at the Lisbon-based club. However, it wasn't long before Sousa attracted attention from some of Europe's biggest clubs, and in 1996, he made the move to Juventus, one of Italy's most storied clubs. At Juventus, he became part of the Serie A elite, joining a team filled with talent and aspirations of success in both domestic and international competitions. While at Juventus, Sousa played a pivotal role in helping the team secure the 1997 Serie A title and reach the 1997 UEFA Champions League final, where they finished as runners-up to Borussia Dortmund. International career. Alongside his club successes, Sousa was an integral part of the Portugal national team. His international debut came in 1991, and he soon became a fixture in Portugal's midfield. Known for his leadership and tactical intelligence, Sousa was a key player in Portugal's campaigns at major international tournaments. Sousa was instrumental in helping Portugal qualify for the 2000 UEFA European Championship, where he captained the team to the final, where they finished as runners-up to France. His performance in the tournament earned him widespread recognition, and he was considered one of the best midfielders in Europe at the time. In 2002, he was part of the Portuguese squad for the FIFA World Cup, where Portugal reached the semi-finals, further cementing his status as one of the country's top players. Throughout his international career, Sousa earned over 50 caps for Portugal, and his leadership and composure in high-pressure matches made him one of the most respected figures in Portuguese football. Main achievements. Paulo Sousa enjoyed a highly decorated career, both at club level and internationally. Some of his major career achievements include Serie A title with Juventus, 1997. Portuguese Cup with Sporting CP, 1995-96. UEFA Champions League with Borussia Dortmund, 1997. Super Cup Italia with Juventus, 1997. UEFA Cup with Juventus, 1993-94. UEFA European Championship runner-up with Portugal, 2000. Over 50 international caps for Portugal and participation in the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Sousa was particularly known for his ability to control the tempo of matches with his precise passing and exceptional vision, making him a standout player in any team he was part of. His influence in the midfield allowed him to dictate play and set up attacking opportunities, contributing to both his club and national team successes during his peak years. Last years of football. In 2003, Paulo Sousa made the decision to leave Juventus and join Bordeaux in France, marking the latter years of his playing career. His time at Bordeaux was marked by consistency and leadership, although injuries began to take their toll as he entered his mid-30s. Sousa's performances continued to be solid. But he was no longer the dominant force he once was. By 2004, Sousa's career began to wind down, and after a brief spell at Queen's Park Rangers in England, he made the decision to retire from professional football in 2005 at the age of 35. Post-retirement and managerial career. After retiring from playing, Paulo Sousa transitioned into football management. His tactical knowledge and understanding of the game made him a highly respected coach. Sousa started his managerial career in 2010 with Benfica B and later had stints with several clubs, including Maccabi Tel Aviv, Basel, and Girona. His coaching philosophy emphasized possession-based football and high pressing, characteristics that he had mastered as a player. Sousa's managerial career included notable successes, such as winning multiple Swiss Super League titles with FC Basel and reaching the UEFA Champions League knockout stage with the club. In 2019, he took over the reins at Fiorentina in Italy, where he continued to impress with his tactical flexibility and leadership. Legacy. Paulo Sousa's legacy is one of intelligence, versatility, and consistency. He was known for his ability to control a game from the midfield, his leadership, and his calmness under pressure. His contributions to Juventus, Sporting CP, Borussia Dortmund, and Portugal have made him one of the most respected Portuguese players of his generation. As a coach, he has continued to demonstrate his tactical acumen and has built a reputation for leading teams to success both domestically and internationally. His ability to adapt to different leagues and maintain high standards of play further reflects his footballing intelligence. Paulo Sousa is regarded as one of the most accomplished midfielders in European football history, and his contributions to both his clubs and the national team have earned him a place in the annals of Portugal's footballing history. Early life and beginnings. Paulo Jorge Gomes Bento, born on June 20, 1970, in Lisbon, Portugal, showed early promise as a footballer. Raised in a football-centric family, his journey into the sport was almost inevitable. Bento's career began at Sporting CP, one of Portugal's leading clubs. From the age of 13, he progressed through the club's youth ranks, displaying a blend of skill, tactical intelligence, and leadership. By the age of 18, he made his debut with the first team in 1988, playing as a midfielder. His early years in Sporting's youth system helped develop his technical abilities, while his strong sense of responsibility on the pitch made him stand out even in his formative years. Breakthrough and rise to prominence. Bento's rise at Sporting CP was marked by his ability to read the game, his tough tackling, and his consistency. He was the epitome of a box-to-box midfielder, comfortable both in defense and attack. As he matured, Bento became a key figure in Sporting's midfield. And his leadership qualities shone through. By the early 1990s, Bento was regularly starting for the team and earned his first call-up to the Portugal national team in 1992. His versatility and strong presence in the midfield earned him a reputation as one of the country's most promising footballers. His time at Sporting was marked by domestic success. Bento helped the club win the Primeira Liga title in 2000, their first in nearly 18 years. He was integral in the team's performances during the late 1990s and early 2000s, playing a crucial role in key victories in both the domestic league and cup competitions. Career peak, international recognition. Paulo Bento's career reached its peak in the early to mid-2000s. By the time the 2004 UEFA European Championship came around, Bento was an established player for Portugal. His tough, no-nonsense style of play made him a key figure in the national team. Under coach Luís Felipe Scolari, Bento was part of a golden generation of Portuguese players, including Luís Figo, Rui Costa, and Cristiano Ronaldo. In the 2004 European Championship, Bento's combative midfield play helped Portugal reach the final, where they narrowly lost to Greece in a historic upset. While Portugal's loss in the final was disappointing, the team's performances throughout the tournament established them as one of the best in Europe, and Bento was recognized as a critical part of the team's success. His career continued to shine at the club level, too. After his time with Sporting, Bento moved to Benfica in 2005, where he briefly played before transitioning to Besiktas in Turkey in 2006. At Besiktas, Bento was known for his steady presence in midfield and his work ethic, though his most significant contributions came on the international stage. Main achievements, domestic and international glory. Paulo Bento's main achievements came both in domestic competitions and with the Portugal national team. Primeira Liga titles. As a key player for Sporting CP, Bento contributed to the club's league victories in 2000 and 2002, solidifying his status as a key figure in Portuguese football. UEFA Euro 2004. Bento was an integral part of Portugal's squad that reached the final, showcasing his skill and leadership on the continental stage. FIFA World Cup 2006. Bento was also part of the squad for the 2006 FIFA World Cup, where Portugal finished in 4th place. His performances in the tournament, though not as prominent as his teammates, helped shape the midfield dynamics. International caps. Over the course of his international career, Bento earned 50 caps for Portugal, with his defensive midfield role being a crucial one for the national team's success in the early 2000s. At the club level, Bento enjoyed success with both Sporting CP and Benfica, though it was his time in Portugal's top-flight league and with the national team that garnered the most attention. Last years as a player and retirement. As Bento entered the latter stages of his playing career, he began facing increased competition and a gradual decline in his physical abilities. His last years as a player saw him transition from a dynamic box-to-box midfielder to more of a steady, experienced figure in the middle of the park. He played for Besiktas in Turkey from 2006 to 2008, before moving on to finish his career with Songnam Ilhwa Chuanma in South Korea in 2009, where he spent 1 season before retiring from professional football in 2010. At this stage, Bento's role had shifted more to that of a mentor, and he became a key presence for younger players in the dressing room. Despite no major trophies during his time abroad, Bento's experience and leadership were invaluable, helping guide his teams through competitive seasons. Post-retirement, transition to coaching. After retiring as a player, Paulo Bento swiftly transitioned into a career in coaching. His deep understanding of the game, strategic mind, and strong leadership qualities made him a natural fit for management. His first managerial role came with Sporting CP, where he took over the reins in 2010. Bento's tenure at Sporting saw him manage the club through some challenging times. Although he was able to develop several young players who would go on to achieve great success. Bento then moved on to manage the South Korea national team, where he spent several years from 2018 to 2020, further establishing himself as a manager of international repute. His coaching career was marked by his disciplined, organized style of play, and his ability to get the best out of both young and experienced players. Bento has managed several clubs and national teams throughout his managerial career, including stints at Al Ittihad, Saudi Arabia, Olympiacos, Greece, and his most recent role with Olympiacos in 2020. His legacy in the coaching world continues to grow, with him earning respect as a tactician and a mentor. Legacy. Paulo Bento's legacy in Portuguese football is defined not just by his time on the pitch, but also by his managerial career, which continues to inspire many. As a player, he was a tenacious, hard-working midfielder who played a vital role in Portugal's most successful era on the international stage. His contributions in both the 2004 European Championship and the 2006 World Cup remain fondly remembered by Portuguese fans. His leadership, both on and off the field, has left a lasting impact on Sporting CP and the national team. As a manager, Bento has built on his experience as a player, developing young talent and leading clubs and national teams through difficult periods. In conclusion, Paulo Bento's career was one of both individual excellence and team success. From his early days in Sporting's youth academy to his impact on Portugal's national team, Bento's influence on Portuguese football cannot be overstated. Today, he remains one of the most respected figures in the sport, and his legacy continues to inspire future generations of players and managers alike. Early life and beginnings. João Pinto, born on August 24, 1971, in Oeiras, Portugal, was introduced to football at an early age. A talented and competitive player, Pinto quickly developed into a highly skilled attacking midfielder. His early years saw him progress through the youth ranks of Sporting CP, where his potential was quickly noticed by scouts. Joining the Sporting senior team at the age of 17, Pinto made his professional debut in 1988, establishing himself as a player capable of dictating the tempo of a game and contributing both in defense and attack. His exceptional passing range, technical skills, and tactical awareness made him an important asset for Sporting, laying the foundation for what would become a distinguished career. Career peak, rise to prominence. João Pinto's career took off when he moved to Benfica in 1995, where he became one of the standout players of Portuguese football. His time at Benfica, spanning nearly a decade, marked the peak of his career. Pinto's flair, work ethic, and leadership on the field made him a fan favorite, and he helped solidify his reputation as one of Portugal's best playmakers. During his time at Benfica, Pinto played a pivotal role in helping the club win multiple Primeira Liga titles and Taça de Portugal, Portuguese Cup, trophies. His contributions in both domestic and European competitions were invaluable, and he became known for his vision, creativity, and ability to score key goals. In 2004, Pinto moved to FC Porto, another giant of Portuguese football, where he would continue his success. His decision to join Porto proved to be a wise one, as he added further league titles and UEFA Champions League success to his illustrious career. Pinto played a vital part in Porto's domestic dominance and their impressive European campaigns, becoming one of the most influential players in the club's history. Main achievements. Throughout his career, João Pinto earned several major individual and team honors that solidified his place as one of the finest players of his generation. Primeira Liga titles. Pinto won several domestic league titles with both Benfica and FC Porto, helping to establish these clubs as forces in European football. Taça de Portugal, Portuguese Cup. He lifted the prestigious trophy multiple times, further cementing his status as one of Portugal's finest midfielders. UEFA Champions League. Pinto won the prestigious competition with FC Porto in 2004, marking the peak of his European club career. Supertaça Cândido de Oliveira, Portuguese Super Cup. He added several of these to his collection, showcasing his ability to win silverware in Portugal's domestic competitions. UEFA Cup, 2003. Along with the Champions League victory, Pinto was an essential figure in Porto's success in European competitions, claiming the UEFA Cup in 2003. International career with Portugal. Pinto was a regular member of the Portugal national team, representing his country in major tournaments, including the UEFA European Championship and the FIFA World Cup. Pinto's technical abilities, leadership, and influence on the field made him one of the most respected players in European football during his prime. His performances for Benfica and Porto solidified his place in the upper echelons of Portuguese football. Last years of football. As João Pinto entered the final years of his career, he continued to play at a high level, although he began to face challenges with injuries. After leaving FC Porto in 2006, Pinto had stints at Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia, before eventually returning to Portugal to play for Vitória de Guimarães in 2008. Although his time in Saudi Arabia was relatively short, Pinto's leadership and technical ability continued to shine at Vitória de Guimarães, where he played his final seasons before retiring from professional football in 2010. Despite his age and injury concerns, Pinto's final years were marked by his wealth of experience and his ability to influence games in the midfield. His presence and understanding of the game remained exceptional, allowing him to play a key role for both club and country in the twilight of his career. Post-retirement and legacy. After retiring from professional football, João Pinto remained involved in the sport in various capacities. He pursued coaching and became involved in football management, looking to pass on his knowledge and experience to younger generations. Pinto's football IQ, honed over years of top-level play, made him an ideal figure to help guide the next wave of Portuguese talent. His legacy as a player is firmly entrenched in the history of Portuguese football. Known for his passing ability, vision, and technical proficiency, Pinto was one of the key players for Benfica and Porto during their domestic and European successes. His career also left a significant mark on the Portugal national team, where he played a central role in their rise in international football during the late 1990s and early 2000s. Pinto is often remembered for his calmness on the ball and his ability to make the right decision under pressure, whether it be a key pass, a vital tackle, or a composed finish. His career will always be remembered for the role he played in establishing Portugal as a major force in European football, both at the club and international levels. Conclusion: João Pinto's career was a testament to his dedication, skill, and leadership. From his humble beginnings at Sporting CP to his successes with Benfica, FC Porto, and the Portugal national team, Pinto's influence on the pitch was undeniable. Whether lifting domestic trophies, winning European honors, or representing his country in major international tournaments, Pinto was always a player who could make a difference. Today, João Pinto is considered one of the greatest midfielders to ever come from Portugal, and his name remains synonymous with skill, vision, and success in Portuguese football. Early life and beginnings. Rui Costa was born on March 29, 1972, in Lisbon, Portugal, and showed early promise as a footballer in his youth. Raised in the historic district of Alvalade, he was immersed in football from a young age. Costa began his youth career at Sporting CP, one of Portugal's most prestigious clubs. His early training and talent caught the attention of scouts, and he quickly rose through the youth ranks, becoming a prominent figure in Sporting's system. At just 17 years old, Rui Costa made his debut for the Sporting CP senior team in 1989, establishing himself as a creative and skilled midfielder. His natural ability to control the game and vision on the ball soon made him one of the most exciting prospects in Portuguese football. Career peak, rise to stardom. Rui Costa's big break came in 1994, when he joined Benfica, one of Portugal's biggest clubs, marking the beginning of a long and successful period at the highest level. His time at Benfica was marked by his ability to orchestrate play from the midfield. His precise passing, and his exceptional ability to score goals from a variety of positions. Costa became a key player for the team, and his performances earned him recognition as one of Portugal's top talents. During his first spell with Benfica, he played with distinction and helped the team win several domestic titles. In 1996, Costa's exceptional form caught the attention of clubs abroad, and he moved to Serie A with AC Milan. However, his time at Milan was short-lived, and in 1997, Costa transferred to Fiorentina, where he would become a club legend. At Fiorentina, Rui Costa enjoyed some of the best years of his career. His technical ability, passing range, and creativity in the attacking third made him one of the finest playmakers in Europe. Costa became the heart of Fiorentina's midfield, leading the team to Serie A and Coppa Italia successes. His leadership and vision in the middle of the park were integral to Fiorentina's success during the late 1990s and early 2000s. Main achievements. Rui Costa's career is adorned with numerous personal and team accolades, making him one of the greatest Portuguese footballers of his era. Domestic titles. Costa won several Primeira Liga titles with Benfica, alongside Serie A and Coppa Italia trophies during his time at Fiorentina. His leadership and creativity were key to his team's success in both domestic and international competitions. UEFA competitions. Rui Costa was part of the Benfica team that won the UEFA Cup in 2003, and he enjoyed significant success with AC Milan. His vision and passing helped Milan win several important trophies, including the UEFA Champions League in 2003. Portuguese Footballer of the Year. Costa won the Portuguese Footballer of the Year award in 2001, recognizing his excellence and influence on the pitch. Portugal national team. Rui Costa was a regular fixture in the Portugal national team for nearly a decade. He represented his country in UEFA Euro 2000, where Portugal reached the semi-finals, and at the 2002 FIFA World Cup. He was also part of the team that finished as runners-up in Euro 2004, a memorable tournament for Portuguese football. Club legends. Costa's long-standing career at clubs like Benfica and Fiorentina solidified his status as a club legend. He was adored by fans for his creativity and leadership on the field, becoming a symbol of excellence and dedication. Last years of football. After leaving AC Milan in 2006, Rui Costa returned to Benfica, where he concluded his illustrious playing career. His second spell at Benfica saw him contribute to the club both on and off the pitch. Although his playing time diminished in his final seasons, his wealth of experience and leadership made him an invaluable asset to the team. Rui Costa retired from professional football in 2008, leaving behind a legacy as one of the finest playmakers of his generation. His decision to retire was influenced by a series of injuries that had limited his appearances in his final years. In the years following his retirement, Rui Costa shifted into a managerial role at Benfica, serving as the club's president in 2012 and remaining an influential figure in the football world. His transition from player to administrator demonstrated his deep commitment to the future of the sport in Portugal. Post-retirement and legacy. Since retiring, Rui Costa has remained involved with football in various roles, including as a director at Benfica. He has also been involved in football development, helping shape the future of Portuguese football by using his vast experience and insight gained from years at the top level. Rui Costa's legacy is firmly etched in the history of Portuguese and European football. His vision, creativity, and ability to dictate the tempo of a match made him one of the most influential midfielders of his time. While he may not have won a major international trophy with Portugal, his role in leading the national team to the Euro 2004 final and his club successes in both Portugal and Italy have ensured that his place in football history is secure. Costa's combination of technical skill, leadership, and tactical intelligence left an indelible mark on the teams he played for. Fans of Benfica, Fiorentina, and Portugal will forever remember him as one of the greats of the game, a player whose craft and class set him apart from many of his peers. Early life and beginnings. Fernando Couto was born on August 2, 1969, in Oporto, Portugal. Growing up in a football-oriented environment, he quickly developed a passion for the sport. His early exposure to football came from playing for local clubs, and his natural talent was evident from a young age. Couto joined the youth ranks of Boa Vista FC, one of Portugal's premier clubs, where he began his formal training as a central defender. By the age of 17, Couto's abilities had caught the attention of professional scouts, and he made his senior debut for Boa Vista in the 1986-87 season. Over the next few years, Couto developed into a formidable presence in defense, impressing both domestically and internationally with his skill set, which combined strength, leadership, and tactical intelligence. This solid foundation set the stage for his future success at the top levels of European football. Career peak, success in Portugal and abroad. Fernando Couto's career truly flourished and he moved from Boa Vista to FC Porto in 1991. At Porto, he joined one of the most successful clubs in Portuguese football and began his rise to prominence. He formed an exceptional central defense pairing with Jorge Costa, and their strong partnership was pivotal to Porto's domestic and European successes. Couto's leadership on the pitch was vital as he became a key figure in Porto's Primeira Liga title-winning campaigns. His stellar performances at Porto soon attracted the attention of European giants, and in 1996, Couto made the significant move to Serie A in Italy, joining Lazio. In Italy, Couto continued to establish himself as one of Europe's top defenders. During his time at Lazio, he helped the club win the 1998 Coppa Italia and played an important role in securing the 1999 UEFA Cup Winners' Cup. His success at Lazio included several standout performances in European competitions, showcasing his ability to compete at the highest level. In 2000, Couto joined FC Barcelona in Spain, where he spent several years in La Liga. Despite facing fierce competition in Barcelona's star-studded squad, Couto maintained his status as a highly respected defender. His time at Barcelona saw him win the 2005 La Liga title and other domestic trophies, and his solid performances in central defense were instrumental to the team's successes during his tenure. Couto's experience at one of Europe's elite clubs cemented his reputation as one of the best defenders of his era. Main achievements. Fernando Couto's career is filled with numerous honors and individual accomplishments, both at the club and international level. Some of his major achievements include Primeira Liga titles with FC Porto, 1992–1993, 1994–1995, 1996–1997. UEFA Cup Winners' Cup with Lazio in 1999. Coppa Italia with Lazio in 1998. La Liga title with FC Barcelona in 2005. Portuguese Super Cup with FC Porto in 1994 and 1995. Over 110 appearances for the Portugal national team, including participation in the 2000 UEFA European Championship and the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Renowned as a consistent performer at the highest level of European football. Couto was widely regarded for his leadership, aerial ability, and calmness under pressure. Couto's skills and consistency earned him a place among the top defenders in Europe. His leadership on and off the pitch made him an invaluable asset for every club he played for, and his presence in defense was often the difference-maker in crucial matches. Final years and retirement. After a distinguished career in Portugal, Italy, and Spain, Fernando Couto eventually returned to Portugal in 2007, joining Boavista FC once again, the club where his professional career began. Although he had entered the final stages of his playing career, Couto's experience and leadership remained a crucial asset for the team. His time at Boavista was brief, but he continued to play regularly and provide valuable insight into the game for his teammates. In 2008, at the age of 39, Fernando Couto decided to retire from professional football, bringing an end to a highly successful career that had spanned more than 20 years. At the time of his retirement, he had earned a reputation as one of the finest defenders of his generation and left behind a legacy of success at both the club and international levels. Post-retirement and legacy. Since retiring from football, Fernando Couto has remained involved in the sport, transitioning into various roles within football management and media. He has worked as a pundit and commentator, offering insights into the tactical aspects of the game based on his extensive experience. Additionally, he has taken up coaching roles and contributed to the development of young players. Couto's legacy is that of a disciplined and commanding defender whose leadership and tactical nous were crucial in helping his teams achieve significant success. He is widely respected for his no-nonsense approach to defending, as well as his ability to read the game and stay calm in high-pressure situations. Fernando Couto's contributions to Portuguese football, as well as his success in some of Europe's top leagues, ensure that he will always be remembered as one of Portugal's greatest defenders. His illustrious career, including his time with FC Porto, Lazio, and FC Barcelona, has made him an icon in the world of football. Early life and beginnings. Sergio Conceição was born on November 15, 1974, in Oporto, Portugal. Growing up in a footballing family, Conceição showed an early interest and talent in the sport. He started playing football as a youth at Boavista FC, where he honed his skills as a dynamic and combative winger. Conceição's passion and determination on the field caught the attention of larger clubs, and he quickly moved up the ranks in Portuguese football. His potential was evident from a young age, and by the age of 18, he made his first team debut with Boavista in the Primeira Liga during the 1992–1993 season. His remarkable work ethic, speed, and flair on the ball earned him a reputation as one of the most promising young players in Portugal. By 1996, Conceição made the move to one of Portugal's top clubs, Sporting CP, where his career began to take off. Career peak, rise to stardom. Conceição's big break came when he signed for FC Porto in 1996. Under the guidance of legendary manager José Mourinho, Conceição would become one of the most important figures in the Porto squad. As a winger with explosive speed, precise crossing ability, and an eye for goal, he quickly became a fan favorite. During his first season with Porto, he was instrumental in helping the team secure a Primeira Liga title. In 2000, Conceição moved to Serie A with Lazio, where he would enjoy even greater success on the international stage. His time in Italy was marked by his explosive performances in both domestic and European competitions. He played an essential role in Lazio's attacking play, contributing numerous goals and assists. With Lazio, Conceição won the Coppa Italia in 2000 and played a key part in their successful run in the UEFA Cup. It was during this period that Conceição also reached the peak of his individual career, earning his first call-up to the Portugal national team. He made his international debut in 1997 and went on to become a regular fixture in the squad. His blistering pace, creativity, and versatility in attacking roles made him a key contributor to Portugal's national team during the late 1990s and early 2000s. Main achievements. Sergio Conceição's career is defined by numerous individual and team achievements across club and international football. Primeira Liga titles. Conceição won several league titles, with FC Porto securing multiple Primeira Liga championships, including in 1997, 1998, and 2003. Serie A and Coppa Italia. After his move to Lazio, Conceição won the Serie A title in 2000, one of the most important moments of his career in Italy. He also won the Coppa Italia that same year, cementing his place as one of Italy's top wingers. UEFA Cup and Super Cup. Conceição played a pivotal role in winning European trophies with both Lazio and FC Porto. He was part of the Lazio squad that lifted the UEFA Cup in 1999 and played a crucial role in Porto's UEFA Cup victory in 2003. Portugal national team. Conceição was a key figure for Portugal, earning 57 caps and scoring 7 goals. He played in major international tournaments, including the UEFA European Championship in 2000, where Portugal reached the semi-finals. Individual honors. Conceição was widely regarded as one of the best wingers of his generation and earned several individual honors for his outstanding performances in Portugal and Italy. Last years of football. Conceição's playing career began to wind down in the mid-2000s. In 2004, after a successful spell at FC Porto, he returned to Lazio before making brief stints with clubs like Real Madrid and Al Nassr in the Middle East. Despite playing for top clubs in Spain and Saudi Arabia, his influence on the pitch started to diminish as injuries began to take a toll on his performance. His final years were spent playing in the UAE Pro League with Al Nassr before officially retiring from professional football in 2008. By then, he had firmly established himself as one of Portugal's greatest footballing talents. After retiring from the game, he immediately transitioned into a coaching career, beginning his journey as a manager. Post-retirement and legacy. After retiring from playing, Sergio Conceição quickly entered the world of coaching. He initially managed several Portuguese clubs before taking the helm of FC Porto in 2017, where he enjoyed a resurgence as a coach. Under his management, Porto won multiple domestic titles, including the Primeira Liga in 2018 and 2020. Conceição's leadership style and tactical acumen as a coach have earned him praise, and he remains one of Portugal's most respected figures in the world of football. His combination of fiery passion on the pitch and thoughtful approach to coaching has made him one of the top managers in Portuguese football. He is also remembered fondly by fans of FC Porto and Lazio, who saw him as a leader and one of the best players to wear their jerseys. His legacy in Portuguese football remains solidified both as a player and as a coach. Early life and beginnings. Hugo Miguel Pereira Viana was born on November 15, 1983, in Lisbon, Portugal. Raised in a footballing family, Viana showed an early passion for the sport. He joined the youth academy of Sporting CP at the age of 10, where he developed his skills as an attacking midfielder. Viana's exceptional vision, technical ability, and playmaking potential stood out early on, and by the age of 17, he made his debut for Sporting's first team. Viana's early performances at Sporting CP caught the attention of both domestic and international scouts. His ability to dictate play from midfield, combined with his passing range, made him one of the brightest prospects in Portuguese football. It wasn't long before he attracted the interest of top European clubs. Career peak, rise to international prominence. Viana's breakthrough came in 2000, when he became a regular starter for Sporting CP. His performances in the Portuguese league earned him a place in the Portugal national team. His debut for Portugal came in 2002, marking the beginning of an international career that would span over a decade. In 2002, Viana moved to Newcastle United in England's Premier League for a then club record fee of £8.5 million. This marked a significant step in his career as he left Portugal for one of the most competitive leagues in the world. At Newcastle, Viana played alongside some of the top players in English football, and although his time in the Premier League wasn't without challenges, he showed glimpses of the form that had made him a star in Portugal. In 2004, after struggling for regular playing time at Newcastle, Viana moved to Valencia in Spain, joining the La Liga club on loan. The move to Spain allowed him to showcase his talents in a new league, and he quickly became a key figure for Valencia. His performances were instrumental in the team's success in domestic and European competitions, with Viana helping the club reach the 2004 UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. His time at Valencia solidified his place as one of the most talented midfielders of his generation. Main achievements. Throughout his career, Hugo Viana enjoyed notable achievements both at the club and international levels. Sporting CP, Viana enjoyed success at Sporting CP, winning the Taça de Portugal in 2002 and helping the club consistently challenge for domestic titles. Newcastle United. While his time in England was marked by mixed performances, Viana's potential was evident, and he contributed to the team's efforts in the Premier League. Valencia CF. At Valencia, Viana played a vital role in the team's domestic and European campaigns, helping the club qualify for European competitions during his tenure. Portugal national team. Viana was part of the Portuguese squad that reached the 2004 UEFA European Championship final, where Portugal finished as runners-up. He earned over 50 caps for his national team, contributing key assists and goals in the midfield. UEFA Cup and European football success. Throughout his career, Viana contributed to UEFA Cup campaigns, most notably during his time with Valencia. Last year's and later career. After leaving Valencia, Hugo Viana returned to Portugal in 2007, where he joined SC Braga. He played for Braga for several years, establishing himself as one of the most reliable and creative midfielders in the Primeira Liga. During his time at Braga, Viana's performances helped the club secure multiple European qualifications, with Braga consistently challenging the Portuguese giants for the top spots in the league. Viana's time at Braga was followed by a brief spell at Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia in 2011, but he returned to Portugal, where he played for smaller clubs such as Vitória de Guimarães and Maritimo before retiring in 2018. Over the course of his later years, Viana continued to demonstrate his creativity, passing ability, and leadership in the middle of the park. Despite facing challenges and shifting between clubs, Hugo Viana's career is remembered for his consistency, technical brilliance, and his ability to influence the game from midfield. He may not have reached the same level of fame as some of his contemporaries, but his contribution to every team he played for was invaluable. Legacy and influence. Hugo Viana's legacy in Portuguese football is that of a player who had the potential to reach the top but was perhaps overshadowed by the rise of other Portuguese talents during the same era. His ability to control the tempo of a match, his precise passing, and his vision made him an essential player for many clubs throughout Europe. Though his career trajectory may not have been as high as expected early on, Viana is regarded as one of the most technically gifted Portuguese midfielders of his generation. He may not have won as many major titles as some of his peers, but Hugo Viana's contribution to Portuguese football, particularly with clubs like Sporting CP, Valencia, and SC Braga, is still remembered fondly by fans. His legacy extends beyond his on-field achievements, as his style of play and technical prowess influenced a generation of young Portuguese players who looked up to his craft in the midfield. Jorge Alberto Silva Andrade was born on March 9, 1978, in Tavira, Portugal. Growing up in the Algarve region, Andrade showed a passion for football from a young age. His talent was immediately apparent, and he joined Sporting CP's youth academy at the age of 12, beginning his journey in one of Portugal's top football systems. However, like many young players, his rise to the first team was not immediate. In his late teens, Andrade moved to Estoril Praia in 1997, a decision that would prove crucial to his development. Playing regularly in the Primeira Liga, he quickly gained a reputation as a tough, reliable central defender. His time at Estoril helped him refine his defensive abilities, and by 2000, he earned a move to Vitória de Setúbal, another Portuguese club where he would further prove himself on the national stage. Career peak, rise to prominence. Andrade's big break came in 2002, when he joined FC Porto, one of the most prestigious clubs in Portugal. Under the management of José Mourinho, Andrade's career flourished. At Porto, Andrade was part of a dominant team that secured multiple Primeira Liga titles and the prestigious UEFA Champions League in 2004, which was one of the high points of his career. His performances at Porto earned him a call-up to the Portugal national team, where he became a key figure in defense. His first international appearance came in 2003, and by the time of the 2004 UEFA European Championship, Andrade had established himself as one of Portugal's most solid defenders. Portugal reached the final of Euro 2004, and though they finished as runners-up, Andrade's performances were widely praised, and he became known for his composure under pressure and aerial ability. International success and major achievements. The peak of Andrade's career came with his success both domestically and internationally. After his time at Porto, he made a high-profile move to La Liga, joining Deportivo La Coruña in 2005. At Deportivo, Andrade continued to showcase his skills at the highest level. His style of defending was marked by intelligent positioning, physicality, and leadership. He quickly became a fixture in the starting lineup for both his club and country. Andrade was a key figure in Portugal's defense during the 2006 FIFA World Cup, where Portugal finished in fourth place. He helped lead the national team to the semi-finals, and although they were eliminated by France in a narrow 1-0 defeat, Andrade's solid performances earned him widespread recognition. His career at Deportivo La Coruña included numerous strong seasons, where he helped the club fight for a top-half finish in La Liga. In 2007, Andrade moved to Juventus in Italy's Serie A, one of the top leagues in Europe. His transfer was seen as a significant step forward, as he joined a club renowned for its defensive prowess. However, injuries began to take their toll, and despite some good performances, Andrade's time in Italy was marred by physical problems, especially knee injuries, which began to limit his appearances. Main achievements. Throughout his career, Jorge Andrade enjoyed an impressive array of achievements. FC Porto, Andrade was part of the squad that won 2 Primeira Liga titles, 2002-03, 2003-04, the UEFA Champions League, 2004, and the UEFA Cup, 2003. Portugal national team. He earned over 50 caps for Portugal and was a key figure in the 2004 European Championship, where Portugal reached the final, as well as in the 2006 World Cup, where Portugal finished fourth. Deportivo La Coruña. Andrade contributed to the club's strong performances in La Liga during his tenure, with solid seasons that saw him perform consistently at a high level. Juventus. While his time at Juventus was cut short by injuries, his presence in Serie A added to his reputation as a world-class defender. The final years and retirement. Unfortunately, injuries began to have a significant impact on Andrade's career in his later years. After a number of knee injuries that hampered his time at Juventus, he made the decision to retire from international football in 2008. In 2010, he also announced his retirement from club football, ending his professional career at the relatively young age of 32. Andrade's retirement marked the end of a distinguished career that saw him play at the top levels of European football, representing Portugal in numerous international tournaments and playing for some of the most storied clubs in the world. Despite his early retirement, his influence as a central defender in his prime years was widely appreciated by fans and critics alike. Legacy. Jorge Andrade is remembered as one of Portugal's most accomplished and talented central defenders of his generation. His career was marked by his strong leadership, technical ability, and tactical awareness. As part of the golden generation of Portuguese footballers in the early 2000s, Andrade contributed significantly to the team's successes, including a runner-up finish at Euro 2004 and a fourth-place finish at the 2006 FIFA World Cup. Andrade's reputation as a tough, reliable defender helped solidify his place in Portugal's footballing history. Even though he was unfortunately affected by injuries toward the end of his career. His commitment to excellence, both at the club and international levels, left a lasting legacy for future generations of Portuguese defenders. Early life and beginnings. Luís Felipe Madeira Cairo Figo, known simply as Luís Figo, was born on November 4, 1972, in Lisbon, Portugal. Growing up in a footballing family, Figo was exposed to the sport from a young age. He joined the youth ranks of Sporting CP, one of Portugal's most prestigious clubs, at the age of 11. His natural talent quickly made him stand out, and by the age of 17, he made his debut for the Sporting first team. Figo's playing style was immediately noticeable for his technical ability, dribbling skills, and vision on the pitch. He could play on either wing but was most effective as an attacking midfielder or winger. His performances at Sporting caught the attention of larger European clubs, and it wasn't long before he made the move to Barcelona. Career peak, rise to prominence. Figo's peak came during his time at Barcelona, where he became one of the most exciting and marketable players in world football. After joining the club in 1995 from Sporting CP for a significant transfer fee, Figo's skill, vision, and ability to make a difference on the pitch quickly elevated him to superstar status. At Barcelona, Figo formed part of a golden generation of players, including names such as Rivaldo, Pep Guardiola, and Patrick Kluivert. During his 5 years at the club, Figo won numerous domestic and international titles. His most notable achievement came in 1999, when he won the prestigious Ballon d'Or, awarded to the best footballer in the world. His exceptional performances in La Liga, the UEFA Champions League, and the Copa del Rey established him as one of the top players in European football. Figo was known for his dazzling dribbles, ability to deliver precise crosses, and uncanny vision that helped create scoring opportunities. His work rate and leadership on the field made him the focal point of Barcelona's attack. Main achievements. Throughout his career, Figo achieved numerous accolades both at the club and international level. Ballon d'Or, 1999, widely considered one of the greatest individual honors in football. La Liga titles, 1997, 1998, 1999, with Barcelona. Copa del Rey, 1997, with Barcelona. UEFA Champions League, 2002, with Real Madrid. European Championship, 2000. Figo played a central role in helping Portugal reach the final, where they narrowly lost to France. UEFA Cup, 2003, and La Liga titles, 2001, 2003, 2007, with Real Madrid. Over 120 appearances for the Portugal national team and a significant contributor to their success on the international stage. Figo's international career was as illustrious as his club career. As captain, he led Portugal to the final of the 2004 UEFA European Championship, where they were defeated by Greece. He also played a key role in Portugal's third-place finish at the 2006 FIFA World Cup, marking the end of an era for one of the most successful Portuguese teams in history. The Real Madrid era. In 2000, Figo made one of the most controversial transfers in football history, moving from Barcelona to Real Madrid for a then-world record transfer fee of €60 million. This transfer divided the footballing world and led to heated rivalries between Figo and his former Barcelona fans. However, Figo's ability to perform on the field silenced much of the criticism. At Real Madrid, Figo became part of the Galacticos, a group of high-profile players assembled by President Florentino Perez, which included Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldo, and David Beckham. With Madrid, Figo won multiple La Liga titles, the UEFA Champions League, and several Copa del Rey trophies. His ability to provide precise crosses, score goals, and create chances made him one of the most dangerous wingers in Europe. Figo's performances at Real Madrid further solidified his legacy as one of the best players of his generation. Despite the high-profile nature of the team, Figo maintained a consistent level of excellence, and his rivalry with Barcelona continued to be one of the defining features of Spanish football during his time at the club. Last years of football. Figo's final playing years came after a long and successful career in top-flight football. After 5 years at Real Madrid, Figo moved to Inter Milan in 2005, where he played for the final stages of his career. At Inter, Figo continued to demonstrate his technical skills and leadership on the pitch, helping the club win Serie A titles in 2007, 2008, and 2009. Though he was no longer the dynamic player of his prime, Figo remained an important presence in the Inter Milan squad, providing valuable experience and depth. Figo retired from professional football in 2009, leaving behind a remarkable legacy in the sport. His playing style, technical brilliance, and leadership qualities ensured that he remained highly respected by players, coaches, and fans alike, both in Spain and Italy. Post-retirement and legacy. After retiring from playing, Figo transitioned to a role as an ambassador for the sport, serving as a representative for various charitable causes and football organizations. He has remained involved in football through various media and charity work, continuing to give back to the game that made him famous. Figo's legacy extends far beyond his club successes. He is widely regarded as one of the best wingers in football history, known for his technique, vision, and ability to dictate games. His incredible dribbling skills, his creativity, and his leadership on the field made him a standout player for both Barcelona and Real Madrid, as well as for the Portugal national team. His rivalry with Barcelona fans during his time at Real Madrid only added to the drama of his career, making him one of the most controversial but also one of the most talented footballers in modern history. Today, Figo remains a symbol of footballing excellence, both for his achievements on the field and his role as an ambassador for the sport off it. Conclusion. Luís Figo's career was nothing short of extraordinary. From his early days in Portugal to his peak at Barcelona and Real Madrid, and later his continued success at Inter Milan, Figo's influence on the pitch was immeasurable. As a key player for both his clubs and his country, Figo earned a reputation as one of the finest footballers of his generation. His legacy continues to inspire future generations of footballers, and his name remains synonymous with skill, leadership, and success in world football. Early life and beginnings. Pedro Miguel Carrero Resende, better known as Pauleta, was born on April 28, 1973, in Ponta Delgada, the Azores, Portugal. He grew up in an environment where football was a significant part of his life, and from a young age, Pauleta showed remarkable potential as a goal scorer. His early years in football were spent in the youth academies of local clubs, where he honed his skills and developed the technical ability that would define his career. At the age of 17, Pauleta joined the SL Benfica youth system, one of the most prominent football clubs in Portugal. His impressive performances in the youth ranks led to his promotion to the senior team in 1992. Although he initially struggled for regular game time, his raw talent was clear, and he would soon find his feet in Portuguese football. Pauleta's first major breakthrough came during a loan spell at Clube Desportivo das Aves, where his goal-scoring exploits earned him a reputation as one of the top emerging strikers in Portugal. Career peak, rise to prominence. Pauleta's move to FC Porto in 1996 marked a key moment in his career, as he established himself as one of Portugal's top strikers. Under coach Josef Vanglos, Pauleta's goal-scoring instincts and work ethic flourished. His ability to find space in the box, his clinical finishing, and his aerial strength made him a key player in Porto's attack. During his time at Porto, Pauleta won multiple domestic titles, including Primeira Liga titles and Taça de Portugal trophies. He quickly gained recognition as one of the most lethal forwards in the league. His standout performances, particularly in European competitions, solidified his place as a top-tier striker, attracting attention from clubs beyond Portugal. In 2000, Pauleta made the move to Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, in France, a club that would become the stage for the peak of his career. At PSG, Pauleta became the club's all-time top scorer, a title he would hold for years. His incredible goal-scoring form in Ligue 1 and in European competitions made him one of the best strikers in France. Main achievements. Pauleta's career was marked by a string of individual and team achievements that cemented his legacy as one of the finest Portuguese strikers of his generation. Primeira Liga titles. Pauleta won 2 Primeira Liga titles with FC Porto, showcasing his consistent form in Portugal's top division. Ligue 1 Golden Boot. His move to PSG saw Pauleta become the top scorer in Ligue 1 in the 2002-2003 season, a true testament to his prolific goal-scoring ability. Paris Saint-Germain record. Pauleta became PSG's all-time leading scorer, a title he still holds today, with over 100 goals for the club across various competitions. UEFA Intertoto Cup. He helped PSG claim the UEFA Intertoto Cup in 2001, providing a platform for the team's future European success. Portugal national team. Pauleta was a key figure for the Portugal national team during the early 2000s, featuring in both UEFA Euro 2000 and the 2002 FIFA World Cup, where his international experience was instrumental for his country. He was also part of Portugal's Euro 2004 squad, contributing goals that helped propel the team to the final. Club and international honors. In addition to his league titles, Pauleta won French Cups with PSG in numerous individual awards, including selection to the Portuguese Footballer of the Year shortlist. His success at PSG included consistent performances that kept the team competitive in Ligue 1 and on the European stage. Pauleta's influence on and off the pitch helped establish PSG as one of the dominant forces in French football. Last years of football. After leaving PSG in 2008, Pauleta continued his playing career for a brief period with Recreativo de Huelva in Spain's La Liga, before retiring from professional football in 2010. His final seasons were spent at Huelva, where, although his form had dipped, his experience and leadership were invaluable to the squad. Despite facing challenges with injuries, Pauleta maintained a strong presence on the field, proving that his technical skill and intelligence could transcend the physical aspects of the game. Even after retiring from professional football, Pauleta's reputation as one of Portugal's finest strikers remained intact. His leadership, passion for the game, and remarkable consistency in front of goal left a lasting legacy in the world of football. Post-retirement and legacy. Since retiring, Pauleta has remained involved in football, taking on roles that leverage his vast experience as a former player. He has worked in various capacities, including ambassadorial roles for PSG and the Portuguese Football Federation, and continued to inspire younger generations with his insights into the game. He has also been involved in charity work and grassroots football development in Portugal. Pauleta's legacy in Portuguese football is firmly cemented, particularly for his role in bringing Portugal to the international stage in the 2000s. His performances for PSG earned him recognition as one of the club's legends, and his achievements with both club and country have made him one of Portugal's most celebrated strikers. Though Pauleta may not have won the biggest international honors with his national team, his contribution to Portuguese football is undeniable. He was a key figure in the team's resurgence in the 2000s, and his name is synonymous with skill, dedication, and goal-scoring ability. Conclusion. Pauleta's career is one marked by consistency, leadership, and exceptional goal-scoring ability. His time at Paris Saint-Germain, his role in the Portugal national team, and his earlier domestic successes with FC Porto showcased his brilliance as a striker. Pauleta's ability to find the back of the net, combined with his leadership and tactical intelligence, made him one of the most respected forwards of his era. Today, his legacy lives on both in the history of PSG and in the hearts of football fans across Portugal and France.